Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and in this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a unbelievably good sausage and broccoli rabe pasta pie. Now this is something I grew up eating. There's many versions of this. You can make it with spaghetti, which I often do, but this particular one is just an homage to my mother, and it's so good. Let me run you through the ingredients because they're not many, but they're all the right ones. You need some fresh broccoli rabe that I have washed and chopped. You need some sauce. This is Italian sausage without the casing, so it's like bulk Italian sausage. You need sharp provolone and shredded Parmigiano Reggiano, eggs, salt and pepper, olive oil, some shortcut pasta. I like using ziti or penne. You need some whole cloves of garlic that's been peeled but left whole. You need some olive oil, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really easy, but it's so unbelievable. I've got my oven preheated to 425. Now I'm gonna make the whole thing, and I also have some pasta water coming to a boil to cook the pasta. I'm gonna be making this in my 10-inch pan that's got high sides because that's the shape of the pie, basically. I've got some olive oil in there getting nice and hot. I'm gonna add my sausage. Now, like I said, if this is bulk sausage, it basically just means that it's the casing removed. You can buy it like this, but if you can't find it, just get a few links of Italian sausage, remove the casing, and you're good to go. And I'm adding it to my hot skillet, and I'm breaking it up as much as I can with my wooden spoon. Now, let me talk to you really quickly about broccoli rabe. Broccoli rabe is a bitter green. I grew up eating it. I love its bitterness. If you don't love the bitterness, you can remove some of it by blanching it first. I don't do that because I think that defeats the purpose of broccoli rabe, and if I don't like it bitter, I might as well use spinach or broccoli. Now in this particular recipe, I don't like broccoli, and you can use spinach, but spinach does give out a lot of liquid, and it doesn't give me that same consistency in my pasta pie. That's why I stick to my broccoli rabe. I'm going to keep my eye on the sausage. I want it to cook completely, and I'm also going to add the pasta to my boiling water. Sausage fully cooked, setting that aside. In the same pan, I just took the sausage out with a salad spoon and added a bit more olive oil. I'm going to add my garlic. I want that to start sizzling up a little bit. I also added my pasta to the salted boiling water. I want that to cook for about 8 or 9 minutes or until it's just about al dente. Don't overcook it because it's going to go in the oven for a bit. I'm just going to babysit my garlic. Just want it to kind of turn a little bit golden, but mainly just release its flavor into the oil. Looks good, smells even better. Now I'm going to add my broccoli rabe. That's a good sound. And now all you do is you have to kind of push the broccoli rabe to the bottom of the pan. You want it to kind of be coated in that oil and the garlic, and then you just have to babysit this until the broccoli rabe starts to kind of wilt a little bit. And then we'll add just a tiny bit of water to get it cooking. But I want to keep the heat on high because I want to cook this quickly. My broccoli rabe looks phenomenal. Now what I did was I added a little bit of water, about a half a cup or so of water, and I cooked it until it completely evaporated, and it took about 5 or 6 minutes. Now I'm going to take these out onto a clean plate, and I'm going to get rid of the garlic as well. You can leave it in if you want to, but I like the flavor. I just don't want to chomp down on it because it kind of overpowers everything else, and I don't care for that. So I'm going to just take the broccoli rabe out, like I said, onto a clean plate, and then I'm going to go drain the pasta, rinse it under cold water to stop it from cooking, and then kind of bring everything together. All right, broccoli rabe cooked, sausage cooked, my cheese, my drained pasta that I've cooled under running water, and I'm good to go. Now what you need to do is in the same pan, you don't need to wash it or anything. I added a little bit of olive oil. Now, you take a pastry brush, okay? Make sure you can handle heat. And you take that olive oil and you brush it along the sides because otherwise it will stick. And nobody wants their macaroni pie to stick because that will defeat the purpose of being able to eat it. All I have is about a little less than 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. And let's get going. To my eggs, I'm going to add a really good pinch of salt, lots of black pepper. If I can get this thing, why isn't this thing working for me? Come on, there you go. Good amount of black pepper. And now just whisk the eggs. Just want to make sure that they're whisked well. All right, to the eggs, you're gonna add everything right in. So, cooked pasta, cooked sausage, you can add all of it or half of it. I'll say all of it, because I want this to be full-on deliciousness. My broccoli rabe, which, you know, the broccoli rabe, there's not a whole lot of liquid that comes out of it, so I don't have to worry about it changing the texture of my pie. And my cheeses. Just get this right out. And now with a wooden spoon, you have to make sure everything is really, really well mixed, because everything has to be coated by that egg, because it's what holds it all together. It's almost like edible glue, if you will. Okay, now my pan has been just heating over about medium heat. And I just take all of this, add it to your pan. It's a lot. It makes a really big fat pie, right? And then you just kind of have to wiggle this around and kind of push it down like that. See what I'm doing? Just like that. And then I'm gonna let this cook on the stove here for about 5 minutes, and then after the 5 minutes, I'm gonna transfer it into the oven, and it'll stay in there for 40 to 45 minutes, or until it's a really deep golden brown color, and then I'm gonna let it come to room temperature just a little bit before we serve it. How gorgeous is this? Now this was in the oven for 45 minutes. I've let it come to room temperature, because this is really best eaten at room temperature, or even better, cold out of the fridge, the best. So this is how you get it out. It kind of loosens itself from the sides of the pan. I take a plate, 1, 2, and 3. That's why it's also important to wait until it's at room temperature. Look how beautiful. I mean, am I right or am I right? And then I just kind of flip it onto your serving platter. And look at that beautiful, I mean, if I were a dish, I wouldn't want to be a lean, mean chicken breast. I would want to be a gloriously bronzed, lovely and thick, spicy pasta pie. That would be what I would be if I was a dish. And I just had a Papa Sal accent. I don't know why. I'm gonna just go right for a big slice right here. Let's just, I know. You know, but do I need to say anything? It's perfection. It's everything you want in food. It's easy, quick, simple, easy, basic ingredients, the most comforting thing. Oh. I love the recipe. I'm done. Go to Laura in the kitchen and tell me the recipe. I'll see you next time.